Love and respect, world. Much love and respect. Just like you would have just had that introduction, we had to let everybody get positioned, whether you're going to be busy, how y'all going to really need to hear this message because, that was just some notes introducing you actually into this segment of the Minister's Red Pill Diaries. Truthfully, we're coming fully interactive from Accra, Ghana. We done peeped the whole game of how the world is being reset and how they putting everything into position. So everyone, you got to get your mind right. You got to get your orientation right. How do you use the internet? How do you interact? How do we share, swap messages? That's what I'm going to be talking about now in this video. Addressing specifically the African Black conscious community because, somebody's need to speak from Africa on this issue. And, we got Bishop Mabongas, we got the Patrice Lumumbas, we've got, Julius Malemas, we got our sister out in Kenya, let me not forget the disrespected truthfully, I feel really bad that I'm going to forget Dr. Mumbai. Very, very sorry. Truthfully, I didn't need to forget your name, Queen. Truthfully, I didn't need to forget your name, Queen. Dr. Mumbai, I didn't need to forget your name, honestly, because you've been fully represented. Even before me, I was out here. So I'm definitely going to give you a shout out, Truthfully, the brother's over the hill already, but the knowledge still comes up swift. And then I would have definitely, truthfully, this one just jumped into my head. The white boy Morg, the white boy on Morg Hyperion. Truthfully, and y'all know y'all be following the brother. So don't disrespect. We're not going to talk race in this issue, but truthfully, much peace, man, much peace and love to everybody who's out there, representing the global conscious community. But this message specifically was for the African conscious community. And, in the trailer lifting up to this that I shout out in Facebook, to basically assemble all y'all, it's going to be like, maybe 15, or if we get it done in 15, that's good. I know everybody's really busy now in this pandemic era. Mr. Frank Lee pointed that out, that situation in the United States right now for a lot of diasporans, a lot of people got laid off a job and everything, So it's like, let's work in this community. You see, let's start building on each other. Let's start working and see what we can get done. That's how I'm looking at it. Because if it's not networking, then we're not organized. That's what the brother Stokely Carmichael actually taught us. You see it. If you want to look at the AAPRP and its representation, as she was the flag bearer. That the Osage Kwame Nkrumah left behind. Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture specifically, his emphasis in some interviews as she was going out specifically was that we're not outnumbered. And it's not that we're outgunned and, the power. No, we're not organized. You see it? We're not organized. And organization goes with unity, you see? And that's why I wanted to start talking in this video because, I saw this beef going on with the brother Kevin Samuels and, Umar Johnson. And I'm not going to say Kevin Samuels like I'm calling his name first. Because I want to make it seem like he's the one starting to know. That's not the way I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it from this position and mentality that it's like, Kevin representing the manosphere. And, a lot of men right now on earth, truthfully, I'm going to be honest, Dr. Umar Johnson, if he's not one of those men who has seen it like that, that's why you see Kevin had to come at him in that video. I don't know if y'all seen it or ever, but, you know how to search up in Google, YouTube, you'll get it. Just type Kevin Samuels, versus Umar Johnson, and then you'll get a little sample of a clip. And these are two men who we should really, truly respect in the African conscious community as far as, the knowledge that Dr. Umar Johnson has kicked to a lot of people. And, specifically Kevin Samuels coming out now at a time where, the knowledge is exhausted, truthfully. I was planning on doing a video called, the conscious community is not conscious because, we got a lot of wokeism out there. And if we were truly conscious, why ain't we free yet? Why ain't we really free, Dr. Umar Johnson? Truthfully, you out there representing everything. I don't even get into the school, truthfully. Kevin was, truthfully, woo. Damn, bro, seriously, man. If we serious about this, then all this aggression where you always banging heads with people, I done seen videos where you disrespecting Son Netter, and disrespecting the young Pharaoh. I don't know if you probably take shots at Ashwa Kwesi. There are a lot of names I can call, but I just wonder sometimes, and I'm like, really? For real? Man, we don't need 45-minute videos occupying space online of y'all just beefing. And I'm talking from the context of us out here in Africa who, truthfully, you hear the accent. I grew up in the United States, 17 years. You know what I'm saying? Gwinnett Technical. I took my diploma, came back here like that, followed up HND. When I start talking about bachelor's degrees, ordinations, doctorate divinities, we can go and talk that whole mile, but that's not what's important, man. I was with the brother Jerry. some time back. That's out the African ancestral wall. Y'all who done come through Africa, you definitely gonna know that place. And Brother Jerry, he had to make a comment that it stuck with me today, and I still got to go out there. We're going to definitely sit down and talk about that and let y'all get into that feeling. But we were sharing that vibe, and it's like, check it. We got a lot of academics in this Pan-African thing. I'm out here, I move around with AAPRP, we got University of Ghana, all them folks, everybody's here, Kwesi Pratt, those are the people who shook hands with Nkrumah, So it's like when you shake that man's hand, in the spirituality of Africa, it's like you can take some of that vibration from him. It's like, wow, this man actually touched Nkrumah's hand. And it's like that energy, like, yeah, that's what we're talking about out here. We're talking about unity working together. And the energy is supposed to be real, but we coming up. The platform is there. Y'all over there beefing. And then now you're taking shots at Kevin Samuels representing the manosphere. And it's like, Dr. Umar Johnson, if you did not see the radical feminism agenda, which has been injected into the African conscious community by sisters like, they went and used Cardi B. They, yes, I'm going to say they. I followed up Black Caucus went and complained. They were supposed to get legislation to stop police brutality and the killing of unarmed Black men and women. And in general, they could have still generalized the law and just said that, okay, we're going to make a law that forbids the police to shoot any unarmed, non-aggressing, kneeling civilian, white or Black. Racial identity politics. Truthfully, Candace Owens is always talking about that. They played that trick again, came behind Black Lives Matter, and this is why I'm going to talk about this issue. Alicia Garza, with Malachi Garza, the Jewish brother who is a specialist at organizing protests. Don't y'all see the setup? Dismantling cisgender. Y'all, truthfully, y'all so busy beefing and acting like you woke that you ain't conscious to what's going on in front of you. Like they've been dropping bombs in Palestine, Israelis mashing Palestinians. That's an everyday thing. Follow Press TV, that's Iranian TV. That's every day. But now they throw it out into the media just to confuse people. Y'all need to get on point. This is Africa now coming to speak at you, because if y'all really talking about get free and the liberation, then it's about organization and unity. And truthfully, Dr. Umar Johnson, that wasn't right. You didn't need to come out at Kevin Samuels like that, because the brother Kevin Samuels, you go through his bio and everything. This is a man. This is an African Black man. African descendant, African American, American Aboriginal, however y'all want to call it. This is a dominant melanated man. You feel me? He don't come up in the struggle. Why you dissing him? Why you hating him, man? Why you trying to feel like you feeling your position's challenged because somebody's coming up who's getting a little bit of the spotlight and you hearing his name a lot? So you watch his video now and then you just feel you got to check him. That's not what it's about. It's not about organizing conferences and always debating, trying to get a ticket and money at the door. It's about organization, finding the people in the network who are trying to represent what is positive and then being like, look, we had a let's get free mission. This is what's going on that I'm seeing that's pointing in the right direction. It's not just about talking. It's about even having a legalized structure like what we got over here. We got Association for Cultural Awareness. That's legalized back in Mizam and Bamenda, Cameroon. You know what I'm saying? Constitution, everything. Black people start thinking organizational. How many of y'all make 1, 2, and 3 gather and then make president, secretary, and treasurer and then take some documents to your local council or whoever and get an organization with a 5013C? Y'all don't think about none of that. It's always banging heads. We be on the internet, we talk a lot, then we don't act, then we have enough time to hate at each other and talk about this man needs to do what the other man is not doing. I can do that because I'm active. Truthfully, we got like a 72 patient hospital built back in the village of Bafoot. My whole family is active. We all about Africa advancing. Go and Google that. You know what I'm saying? So for real, we doing something for our people. And then when I see others who talk a lot of game, who ain't even boots on the ground, because that was the pet peeve that me and Mr. Jerry had to bring out. All these folk woke doctorates, master's degrees, BAs, and we don't even need that. Truthfully, the initiator of this sequence, the most honorable, most reverend, Marcus Garvey, how many qualifications was he running around boasting about? And the brother could mobilize over 1 million Black men cross-continentally without an internet. What? So y'all need to stop. I'm going to be honest. Y'all need to stop. There's a lot of negative energy out there, and we don't need that right now. These folk resetting the earth. You don't pay attention to it. I'm following. Bill Gates done put about $125 million behind COVID-19. And when we should be talking about him managing it. Suddenly him and his wife got a divorce. Let me come out like Ralph Smart. I hope y'all know about him. Truthfully, be like, ooh, slow motion. From my right to my left. Check it out. Did y'all? Ooh. I mean, you didn't see that? You didn't see that? In the middle of COVID-19, where they got to come out with the emergency use, agreement and the emergency use list of the WHO, an emergency use agreement of the FDA. Is it agreement, the EUA? They're telling people that this virus, this vaccine, they know it's not safe before emergency uses. They got to let it roll out. It's rolled out, truthfully. I can look at it from every dynamic. I'm not bringing conspiracy into it. I'm just looking at it purely objectively. We got real issues to talk about and focus. Y'all don't need to be banging them heads, truthfully. Dr. Umar Johnson, I hope that you really saw that radical feminism agenda that they injected into the system. And then now you got black women. They've actually, Angela Davies, these are the people who I used to hear names of. You know what I'm saying? Truthfully. Now we're hearing this that Cardi B, Meg Stallion. When you want to talk to any black woman, she's confused. They just have this mentality that they got to beef the black man. And, we got one people that we got to stand up against in this, my sisters and my brothers and everybody who represents the dominant melanin and the pagan movements and the alliances and those folk who realize that, truthfully, we've been being oppressed since Constantine set up this network, 325, but it goes even farther back. It goes back to the Greeks, truthfully, if we want to start speaking on knowledge. We all do have a common nemesis, truthfully, even with the brothers in Islam, and they know it. We got to always keep our eyes on the papacy, man, truthfully. I'm talking about ideologically. There's an intention on the earth to usurp indigenous peoples and keep us in chin checking. So it goes even beyond that issue of skin color. But we can't be beefing in the African conscious community, truthfully. And then my sisters, you can't instantly be looking at the brothers like this. It's not our fault. We've always had the same nemesis. These people done tried to buy you off. That's what they've done. You seeing Kamala Harris up there. Alicia Garza's got a little bit of money in her pocket. So now they're trying to give y'all the mentality that if y'all instead force like women to integrate into the Caucasian system, maybe get you a little white husband if it's even necessary, then you can forget about your brother. And then you're supposed to elevate. That's not how the system was set up. In 1452, Pope Nicholas V came out and enslaved everybody. He said y'all was heathens. He said you was pagans, enslaved Africans under that pretext. And then they pushed the Native Americans aside and said, well, some of y'all had some fair skin. We're going to make sure that the people who will be enslaved to form the lower caste system of the world will be these dark-skinned African people. That was the tradition all up inside that church. And if you're talking about the church, then you're definitely talking about the Jews, because the church has to talk about Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ was a Jew. So the Judaic people, even in Jerusalem, even if they claim that they're not down with it, they got to have a card in it. So y'all playing a very, very dangerous game. I'm going to be very honest, truthfully. Dr. Umar Johnson, I hope that you see all this. And if you see all of this, you shouldn't be taking cheap shots at the brother Kevin Samuels, because the brother Kevin Samuels came out with what needed to be said. He came out to check the woman. He didn't come out to disrespect the woman. He came out to really bring women into a platform where he can be like, just look at yourself. Just look at yourself. I mean, you arrogant now. You don't even have a plan. You just want power. You're not serious. You're actually deteriorating the sun, moon, and the stars. You're breaking apart the solar system. You're breaking it apart. You used to be wisdom. Now you spread out twerking. Is the black woman who is God twerking herself into confusion? Truthfully. And I'm not saying we're not all about, the sexual expression and all of that. That's rich, it's cool. But see, let's not get ourselves deluded and then thinking that is where our empowerment is, because the radical feminist agenda is pushing us in that direction. And then we're off track. Sexuality should not be weaponized. That's what the brother Kevin Samuels was just clearly trying to say. And that's the point. And I really hope that, truthfully, Dr. Umar Johnson and anyone who's listening to this video, y'all need to get it. That's the message. If you didn't get the message, that's the message. Truthfully, human sexuality should not be weaponized. It should not be flaunted out in the street with the intention of intentionally distracting in the name of attracting individuals. That's not the way the earth was supposed to follow as a naturalist system. And even if women want to come now with, you used to walk around naked and this and that. Were you walking around naked in a very sexually seductive manner? And that wasn't the intent. And so y'all need to stop. This radical feminism agenda, it needs to be squashed. And now that I've said it, anyone who passes by this video or hears it who's not aware that it's a sickness that's been injected into the African consciousness community, then truthfully, that's just on y'all. Anybody can handle those games the way they want to do. But truthfully, I just wanted to come in and talk to the queens coming behind Dr. Umar Johnson, coming behind Brother Kevin Samuels, make them understand that truthfully, we fighting this battle together. We always been in this battle together. Truthfully, y'all need to come back behind us because the brothers, we out in the field, we never went back. But what happened is that these people came in with this agenda and divided us. So now you running out there because you always been trying to hustle, and we always been trying to hustle since the farms in Africa before they even took y'all in the boats when they was out here messing us up in the colonial networks and systems. It's crazy. Like I said, you might need to get on How You're Underdeveloped Africa by Walter Rodney. Make sure you pick up that book and read it if you hadn't read it, because that's basically the African history Bible right there. But for real, that's where I'm going to be out. I hope y'all really got the message, for real. Black women, black men, it's about the unity and the organization. We supposed to be working together. We got one common enemy, and just see what they doing. I see it. I hope you seen it. Dr. Umar Johnson, much respect, truthfully. Much respect, truthfully. Kevin Samuels, much respect, truthfully. Y'all squash that. We don't need that. We don't need that. Especially coming from the manosphere, because when you get into the manosphere, truthfully, that's like a virtual brotherhood of men, truthfully. Black, white, red, yellow, everything. We had to unify together to come to this clarity of what they were doing to the women on both sides of black and white, red, yellow. You know what I'm saying? So truthfully, we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. Don't try to score no points coming at the manosphere, truthfully, because we represent that red pill Africa with the modifications to fit it into our culture. So when we talk about polygamy, this, and that, truthfully, it's the evolution of the society and the culture. Whether y'all coming out with the poly love or what, truthfully. We all about the love from Africa, because in the beginning, we didn't care whether you worshiped the God or you didn't worship the God, or your God was the sun, rain, the moon, or the stars, truthfully. We've always been a very spiritual, not religious, but a very spiritually religious, you know what I'm saying? Like individual, it's a culture. That's what it is. When you want to say spiritually religious, spirituality, that essence of the energies is in us. That's just us. That's culture. And that's what we need to hold on to. So let's build that culture back, people. I hope you got the message clear. This has been your naturalist minister, the Nkatla about foot and count we folk one bay, signing out. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that if you got to the end of this video, you did appreciate the message. You do click like on it. Make sure you do share it, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, because we're developing more content in this stride and path unto developing this union, like we said, across the Atlantic. So that's what it's about over here. You know what I'm saying? There's the Mahdi coming out at you, reminding y'all we're only gonna make it through with unity, organization, and if each one teaches one. So that's where I'm out. Peace profound. Peace profound. Peace.